Jordan taking over Chicago. It's the coach, and you're watching Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Jordan Howard, fresh off 100 yards a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting San Francisco 49ers taking on the Los Angeles Rams. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. And a few short moments ago, running back Todd Gurley trying to fire up the Ram faithful here in Southern California as his guys get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come in riding high, just 1 loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 21 carries, 88 yards.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space because the defense will key on him.
Gurley again here on first down. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards. Now on second down, this is Gurley. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, LA. Todd Gurley. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate. And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive. Extra point forthcoming. The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it's finished off by a Todd Gurley touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
First carry down for Jordan Howard. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The numbers there for Howard a week ago. 23 carries, 103 yards, and a touchdown.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync. Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
On first down, they run with Howard. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The defense here for the Rams.
Becoming one of the better lockdown corners in the league is Marcus Peters, and I first noticed him when he was in college at the University of Washington. Very intelligent player, understands route combinations, how teams can attack him, and how about what he's done in the NFL. 19 interceptions in 3 seasons, 5 more than anyone else in the league has had. That gap is absolutely staggering.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
And Gold is able to put it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. He's up over 1,200 yards now on the season. Had a touchdown on that last drive as well. Things continuing to trend in the right direction for this offense, but specifically, Charles, this running game.
And it all comes back to one word, doesn't it? Cohesion. Because you have to have that. Center, guards, tackles, tight ends. Some of the wide receivers being involved. Maybe a lead runner at times, maybe a fullback. But all in all, those X's and O's on the grease board that look so nice, that turns into a jumble in real life. And these guys have to know what to do on the run, on the move. They've done it well for them all year long.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, gone. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pick up there, 26 yards.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy is covering you. He's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
So from inside 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. Spinning away. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. Let's meet the starting 11 on defense for San Francisco. This crew against the pass, it's been a real struggle. Second from the bottom in the NFL, number 31.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
To throw on 2nd down is gone. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. 3rd down here. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. On the field now, here come the 49ers. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. He's going to wind up and air it out. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of two ways, either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
Gould with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Gould now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here at the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
Every guy that plays this game has plenty of people around him that are concerned for his health and well-being. He had no regard for his body on that catch at all, did he?
Middle of the field, diving to grab it? No, he didn't. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Gurley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. From the gun, here's Goff. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds.